Peace be with you. My name is Allan Keislar. Although I'm in America, I'm always thinking about Pakistan, because Pakistan is not an ordinary place. But Pakistan, I am convinced, is that place where pure Islam will be reestablished, God willing. Pure Islam means love, truth, justice, service, always remembering and serving God and the entire creation of God. So that is going to happen, or is happening, I should say, right now in Pakistan. So I'm always thinking about that development. Not only in Pakistan, I believe in other places also, but initially and most importantly in Pakistan. That's what I've been told, and I believe it. So I want to talk a little bit about today, because I've had many requests to write something, write a book, or write a FAQ, frequently asked questions. So I started that, and I have a Facebook public figure page, which somebody made for me about 3 years ago. But I didn't know how to use it. I thought he was going to help me with it, but then he didn't, so it just sat there for a long time, and then I added a message. If you're on this page, I really don't use it. You can come to my live Facebook chats on this page. So people are getting that message from there. But now I've started putting a frequently asked questions on that page, because there's a place to do that, and I don't know if they have that on the personal pages. I don't think so. But anyway, so such questions as, where am I from? What is my religion? People ask me all the time. So I've gotten 5 questions so far. So if you want to see those, I'll be working on that regularly. I hope I can add more and more questions to that. And if you have any questions you would like me to include, please let me know. You can make a comment here or send me a personal message, and I will try to see all of those and include as many of those questions in my frequently asked questions as I can. Okay, so that's all I wanted to say this morning. Let us see if we have any questions or comments. Muhammad Nadeem Riaz Qureshi Sahib says, Assalamu alaikum, request for dua. Oh God, please bless Muhammad Nadeem Riaz Qureshi. Draw him closer to you. That is the best prayer I can give for anyone, I think. Rashid Mahmood says, Salam. Wa alaikum salam, Rashid Mahmood Sahib. Raja Azhar Saeed says, Sir, love you. I love you too. Thank you all so much for your love and your prayers for me. And I am also praying, especially for Pakistanis, but for everyone. But because Pakistanis have a special responsibility and a very difficult task to reestablish pure Islam, eternal Islam, but to establish it in practice again, because it's been mostly eliminated in the world. There's very little real Islam. There's a lot of misunderstood Islam and misunderstood Christianity and misunderstandings about every religion, in which people generally think my religion is the right one. Everyone really should join my religion. That's not pure Islam. That's not pure any religion. The pure Islam is to understand there is actually only one religion. Islam, you may call it Islam or anything else that is appropriate, but Islam really means the eternal religion of God, which is love and truth and justice. Especially justice is very important. Love and justice must go together. Then we will have peace, and we will have the purpose of religion accomplished. Liaquat Ali Khan Surizai says, you have great energy. I love it. Stay blessed. Thank you. Mirza Saima says, are you in favor of idea of nation states like Pakistan and India, or you support local rights like Native American community? That's a very interesting question. Native American community does support local rights. I also support local rights, but Native Americans also have had things like nation states and confederations of the different, in the Western parlance we call them tribes, but actually they're nations. They're not only local rights. So, well, it depends on what you mean by nation states. You said nation states like Pakistan and India. I believe that nation states certainly have their role to play, but not the way they're run now by political parties. Almost all the countries in the world are based on political parties fighting with each other. And that is not a divine system. That is a satanic system. To get people to fight with each other, the Satanists have divided everyone up into political parties to fight with each other. That is not what the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, established in Medina, Munawwara. Then it's not what any prophets have talked about, to run your country by having political parties. No. So I do not support that type of nation state. But states in which there are leaders who are, they can even be elected. There's nothing wrong with electing leaders, but that has to be leaders have to be elected in a way that is not causing division and fighting amongst people. So I think nation states are a natural thing, but this artificial political party system is not natural. It's unnatural, satanic really, and inspired by evil forces, because they can control things more easily. When there are political parties fighting with each other, then evil people can more secretly control the situation, because people think, oh, I have my party and I'm fighting against the other party, and they think that there are really different parties fighting with each other, but actually the whole idea behind the political party system is that the same people control both the parties, or as much as possible all the parties. They try to gain control without people knowing that. So that's the secret of this political party system. So definitely local rights is very good. It's very good for there to be autonomous communities, in the sense of being able to provide all their own needs. So that enables local rights. If you're dependent on the government for something, then it's hard to maintain your local autonomy and your local rights. So yeah, I don't believe in big government. Government should be minimized. But Mirza Saima says, have you ever considered that nation states are usurping rights of local communities? They can, and they often do. They usually do, in fact. Yes. But of course that's not what they should be doing, and a true nation state would not do that at all. Islam, as established by the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, in Medina Munawwara, was a nation state. In one sense, it was the first nation state. It was a community based on a constitution in which people of different groups, different tribes, different religions, were brought together in one community. So that was, it was not an empire like previous organizations of groupings of people were often kingdoms, but it was a pre-runner or precursor, forerunner of what we now call nation states. You can say in one sense that was the first nation state. So the type of nation state does not usurp the rights of local communities, but we observe it happening because the same evil people that are trying to control the whole world, they're doing it by gradually increasing the power of the national governments over the local communities and over states in order to centralize power, because they want to gain total control of the whole planet. So promoting nation states and then aggregations like the European Union of nation states, or different groups of nation states, they try to get together, and then after that, then their goal is one world government under their control. So yes, certainly that system of nation states is usurping rights of local communities. That's partly the whole idea of these nation states, leading to a one world state. Of course, one world state is not bad. It's natural also. It's natural. I think that happens on all planets throughout the universes, that gradually it evolves to a place where there is one government over the whole planet. So that's natural. But who is going to control that government? If it's satanic people, if it's evil, selfish people, then it'll be a catastrophe. But if it is good, sincere, loving, kind, just, truthful people, then it's okay. And it's even good for a planet to be unified in that way, but not to oppress or suppress or usurp the rights of local communities or of nation states by the one world government. Mirza Saima goes on, I mean pseudo-nation states after Treaty of Westphalia. Yeah, these pseudo-nation states, they're all based on fake premises, really. Okay, Khurshid Zaman Abbasi says, good morning, Dr. Allan. May God bless you. Thank you very much. We are going to be having a interview, live interview on Tuesday at 9 a.m. here in California, 9 p.m. in Pakistan, and noon where and Dr. Khurshid is in Maryland on the east coast of USA. So everyone is welcome to join us. Muhammad, we will give more detailed information later. Muhammad Wasim Raza, Assalamu alaikum, sir. Request for dua. Wa alaikum salam. Oh, God bless Muhammad Wasim Raza too. Kinza, but sir, please accept my friend request. I'm sorry that I cannot accept many friend requests because Facebook has a limit on how many friends you can have, and I am reaching that limit. So, Mani Armani Salam, how are you? I live in Atlanta. Can we talk? Or how can I meet you? You can always come to California and meet me here in Esparto, as many Pakistani friends have done and others. We can chat on Messenger also, or we can talk right now here. Afzal Chowdhury, sir, would you like to share your latest spirits? I think I had that same question yesterday and I answered no. I don't want to do that now. Tasneem Azim, can you please give short lecture on meditation or mind power in your lectures? I suppose this is your specialty. I don't think my mind power is my specialty. I don't do mind control type things. I do meditate, but my meditation is very simple. I may do some deep breathing, but basically I just recite the names of God and listen very carefully. Allah, 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 Allah. That type of meditation is what I practice. So you want me to give lectures on it? Well, I can talk a little bit about it in these chats. If you have any specific question about meditation, I don't really know anything much about mind power, but I can say something about meditation, as I just did. It's good to breathe deeply and recite the names of God. If you have any specific questions, I will try to address them. Muhammad Usman, how are you, sir? I am a fan of Mr. Zaid Hamid and you. My spiritualism increases after seeing you both, so I want to share my sweet and costly dreams with you and Mr. Zaid Hamid. I love you. Thank you very much. I also love Mr. Zaid Hamid. We have a lot of things that we agree on, and I have learned very much from him. We have some differences of emphasis, but I love him very much and respect him very much and think of him very highly. He's a deeply spiritual man. I spent several days with him when I was last in Pakistan and had a very wonderful, deeply spiritual time. Imran Khan says, Sir Salam, how you see the parliamentary system of Pakistan? Why people are not getting fruit of real democracy? Well, I just answered that question, really. I said the parliamentary system in nation states based on political parties is useless. It's harmful, it's easy to control by wealthy people, so I don't appreciate the parliamentary system based on political parties. And I think that's the real reason people are not getting fruit of real democracy, because there are political parties that are fighting with each other, and the politicians get elected on the basis of platforms they create, lies they tell to make people think that they will get something from them. They make so many promises, and generally they cannot, most of them don't want to fulfill their promises. They just say them in order so people will vote for them. And those who do are sincere, like Imran Khan, not you, but the Prime Minister Imran Khan, they have difficulty fulfilling their promises that they make sincerely and really want to fulfill because of the parliamentary system of political parties fighting with each other and so much corruption in all the political parties, even in Imran Khan, Prime Minister Imran Khan's own political party. There are plenty of corrupt people, and he's dependent on them because that's the way the parliamentary system works. You have to have your political party, you have to get support for your political party, you depend on the members of your party, and if they're corrupt, it becomes very difficult. So this is not the Islamic system, this is not the system in any religion, this party parliamentary system. Nothing wrong with parliament, but this system of the way that they are elected by parties fighting with each other and by politicians making promises, which mostly they never intend to keep, that is not very good in my opinion. Sudhir Ahmed says, Assalamu alaikum, respected Babaji, happy to be a part of your live stream. Thank you very much. Sudhir Ahmed has asked me many questions and we've had an ongoing, quite a long conversation the last couple of days. So thank you very much. You had many good questions about life after death and things like that. So I'm very happy to have your association, Mr. Sudhir Ahmed Sahib. And always feel good to see you live, Sudhir Ahmed has added. I'm very happy to have you also with us in this live chat. Okay. Well, that's all the questions we have so far, so I'm going to repeat what I said in the beginning. If you have any questions that you would like me to ask, to my frequently asked questions, which I have started on my public figure, Allan Keislar page, which somebody had made for me about several years ago, and then I've never really used it much, but now I'm going to try to start using it by posting these frequently asked questions. So if you have any specific questions you would like me to add on that, then I will be happy to try to accommodate your requests. Muhammad Afzal, sir, what about the soul? What about the soul? The soul is the real essence of our existence. We are the soul, really. The body is only a temporary covering, you might say, over the soul. We are the soul. Consciousness. The soul is consciousness, and that is what we really are. The body is just like clothing. I'm wearing a shirt. I'm not the shirt. The shirt moves because I'm in the shirt. So the body moves because of the presence of the soul in the body. So what about the soul? Well, basically we are the soul. That is our real identity. And what is the identity of the soul? The identity of the soul is servant of God. That is the real identity. Real identity is not Muslim or Christian or Hindu or Buddhist or Taoist or Sikh or Jew or Zain or this or that. Our real identity is we are all eternal servants of God. So there's really only one religion, which is service of God and service of all of God's creation, because you cannot serve God without serving God's creation. That is correct understanding of religion. Some people may not be aware of that, but I think most people are. You cannot really serve God and you cannot please God without also serving all of God's servants. In fact, God is more pleased when we serve his servants rather than when we serve him directly. That is my understanding. So, Sudhir Ahmed, what's most important is to spread universal love. Yes, universal love and individual love also. Not only universal love, but individual. We must serve people individually, not only serve some concept of universal love. But yes, thank you very much. That is true. Most important. Sabse mazboot amal hai. Islam mein, Islam ka sabse mazboot amal hai, muhabbat. Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said that the most important, the most powerful action is to love. So thank you very much. Yes, love is most important. That is the teaching of every a great spiritual teacher. Qasim Nawaz says, Assalamu alaikum, sir. Wa alaikum salam, Qasim Nawaz ji. Yasmin Farid says, Assalamu alaikum, sir. What is your belief about Islam and Sufism? Is it the same thing or different? Most of Muslim scholars says Islam and Sufism isn't the same thing, and some of them say it is the same thing. What do you think? As far as I know, it's the same thing. Both are teaching love. I'm not sure what those scholars who say they are different mean, so you would have to give me more details and I could respond to that. But I think, as far as I know, Sufism teaches love of God and love of all creation, and that's the essence of Sufism, and that's also the essence of Islam. I'm just trying to think what might be the difference, they say. Sufism stresses more, maybe, on love. And many people in Islam, many people who consider themselves Muslims, they stress more on the Sharia, on the law. But I think the real Islam stresses love more than the law. And Sufism does that. So I think the real Islam is Sufism. Arif Jahan, peace with you. How do you see present-day Christianity, and what about Jesus? Well, like every religion, mostly Christianity today is not really following Jesus. Like Muslims are mostly not really following Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. And most Hindus are not really following the teachings of Bhagavad Gita or Ramayana or Vedas. Buddhists are mostly not really following the teachings of Lord Buddha. So same thing with Christianity. In fact, some Christians, some good Christians, have said that the greatest enemy of Jesus is Christianity. So, yes, I think that Christianity today is mostly based on practices and principles and even doctrines and beliefs that are quite different than what Jesus actually taught and himself what he did. What did Jesus do? He simply loved people, and he told people to love each other and to love God. Mostly Christians, unfortunately, are not doing that very well. And same in every religion. And what about Jesus? Well, I can go into this in detail. I will just very briefly explain, because this is what I've been told from extraterrestrial sources, that there are millions and billions of universes. Each and every universe has an individual creator who is a great, powerful, deeply spiritual, of course, servant of God. So God himself does not actually create the universes directly. He engages a servant of his to engage in universal creation. And the great servant of God who was sent to this part of the creation in order to create this universe came on our planet as Jesus. So that's my belief. So Jesus is not an ordinary prophet. He is a very special one. And similarly, when I call them sub-creators, when those sub-creators are sent out by God to do a creation, they always have some companions with them, advisors, you might say, and helpers. So before the creation of this universe, when Jesus, he wasn't called Jesus, that's the name he got when he came here on this planet, but that personality had at least two companions with him, and one of them was the personality who came on this planet as Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. So I believe that both Jesus, peace be upon him, and Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, existed before the creation of this universe, and they were very close friends. And Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, or the personality who we now know as Muhammad, peace be upon him, he was a very close advisor and friend to the sub-creator of our universe. So that's what I understand about Jesus and Muhammad, peace be upon them both. They are very special people who existed even before the creation of this universe, and they were together engaged in the creation and processes of organizing this universe. And the third person who was with them appeared on this planet as the Holy Mother of Jesus, Mary, Blessed Mary, and that I've also been told, but I believe myself, I've not really been told this, but I think maybe I've been told it, but not so clearly and not from extraterrestrial sources, but I am convinced just by my own studies that that same personality who appeared as the mother of Jesus, Blessed Virgin Mary, she also appeared, the Blessed Virgin Mary, that personality appeared as the daughter of the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. So that's my understanding. But unfortunately, all of them, they were wonderful, pure personalities who taught very pure and exalted teachings, but they're not being followed very well by the people who call themselves their followers. So Mirza Saima says, many local communities in Pakistan, such as Sindhis, Punjabis, Pashtun, etc., are not happy with the state of Pakistan because it is very centralized and power rests in the hands of a few. What is the alternative? I am sorry if I am stressing this point. Yes, there should be substantial autonomy of the states. I believe that. In the United States, there is substantial autonomy of the different states. The different provinces, they should have quite a lot of autonomy to be able to promote their own understandings, their own cultures. I don't know if the state of Pakistan is very centralized. Power rests in the hand of a few, but if the few are good, there's nothing wrong with power resting in the hands of the few. But usually the opposite happens. Increase their power more and more because they're not so good. If they were good, they would not insist on having all the power for themselves, or they would use it in such a way as to encourage autonomy of local communities also, as well as regional communities like these states. Waris Kamal says, good morning, New York time. Good morning, Waris Kamal Sahib. Muhammad Afzal, unique blessing of Allah, spiritual component. Thank you very much. Yes, the spirituality is the essence of human life and the truth of religion. Aisha Lukman, Assalamu alaikum. What happens to the soul after death? What is the difference between mind and soul? Oh, very good questions. Well, the soul after death does not die. The soul exists eternally. As I've explained before, I found that out myself when I died. About, 16 years ago. My heart stopped beating, and I don't know if I was clinically dead, but the nurse who was attending to me seemed to think so. And I experienced leaving my body and existing separate from the body. So the difference between the mind and the soul, that's a very, very good question. In fact, I can tell you, when I was studying biology as a graduate student at Alabama State University, I was most interested in this question of the identity, the consciousness. I was reading books like, what was the name of that book now? It was Behind the Iron Curtain. It was either Extrasensory Perception or Psychic Research. Behind the Iron Curtain, I think was the name of that book. And I found that by the power of my mind, I could control the so-called random decay of radioactive particles. That's exactly the specific thing I was doing. So I was then very interested to understand, well, what is this thing, my mind, that is controlling this, and how does it do it? And I actually made a mistake. I identified the mind as the soul. And it wasn't until later that I realized that the mind is not the soul. The mind it's separate from the soul. Just like the body, it wasn't difficult for me to understand the body is separate from the soul, but it was hard to understand that the mind is separate from the soul. So what is the difference between the mind and the soul? The mind is like the body. The body has its own activities. The mind has activities which are separate from the soul. The mind is what we're thinking. That is the mind. We're having certain feelings and emotions. That's also the mind. And we can abstract ourselves, or we can separate ourselves, that is the soul, from the mind. And we can observe the mind. Just as we can observe the doing certain things, which we can step back and realize, oh, that's not really me. So in the same way, we can step back and observe our thoughts and realize our difference. That is, our identity, our soul, is different from those thoughts that are going on. So that's one fruit of meditation. If you practice meditation, you can do that more easily. You can reflect not only on the separate difference between yourself and your body, but also between you and your mind. So I hope that's enough. If you want more questions specifically about that, I can try to answer them. Okay, I'm not going to read all the comments because we're getting a lot of them now, but Sudhir Ahmed is saying, how can we eliminate hate and jealousy, and how can we think beyond our own religion as we stick to our respective religion and claim this is the true religion? Well, we just have to realize there is only one religion, and all these different so-called different religions are just parts of one religion. It's just like education. Religion, in one sense, is God educating us. So, and education different subjects and different topics. So, if somebody thinks, oh, I'm a scientist or I'm a biologist, and biology is my subject and it's the best one and everyone should become a biologist, that is foolishness. There are many different subjects in an educational system, and all of them are good. Some may be better for some people, others may be better for other people. Some people may have a natural tendency towards one. So in the same way, there are different religions, but really there's only one religion, one educational system from God. But different people have different needs or different tendencies. So different, so-called different religions are actually good for different types of people. Even to the extent, and I've talked about this before, and it took me a long time to realize this actually. It wasn't until maybe 10 or 20 years ago at the most, 10 or 15 years ago, that I really realized how Buddhism is a very good religion for many people, and in fact, it's better for many people. There's no God in Buddhism. It is mentioned, but hardly. Practically, there's no discussion of God by Lord Buddha, peace be upon him, himself, or by most Buddhist philosophers. So, but for some people, it's actually better not to have that concept of God, because it can interfere with their feelings. It can interfere with their spiritual development. If they have a certain attitude towards God, then for them it might be better just to forget the idea of God. So it's really true that different religions are good for different types of people. And so how can we think beyond our own religion as we think that this is the true religion? Well, the best way, in my experience, and it's the way it happened to me too, it was only after I started meeting and becoming close friends with a number of Buddhists that I could understand what good people they are and how good their religion is for them. So the best way, in my experience, and I think many, many people have described this, the best way to think beyond our own religion and think it is the true religion is to just meet people of other religions and become friendly with them and see what good people they are. And I can remember when I was a young person, still a youth, still in high school and college, when I started seeing and realizing how, of course, I was a Christian by birth and by training as a child, and I realized that there are other people of other religions who are better Christians than Muslims. So that's very good, is just to meet, interfaith dialogue, to meet with people of other religions and become friendly with them and see. By your own experience, you can see, oh, they're actually better than most of the people in my religion. So that helps us to become free of this misconception that my religion is the correct religion, the true religion, and everyone should really join my religion. Okay, good question, pretty long answer too. Sudhir Ahmed goes on, if the basic message of all the religion is same, then why do we have a lot of religion? I've given several chats on this very topic. Why are there many religions. And the basic answer, actually, I've just given now, which I have said many times, is because different people have different needs, and different religions accommodate different people's needs. So some religions are actually better for certain people than other religions are. So that's one reason why there's lots of religions. Of course, there's other reasons also. One of the main reasons is because evil forces, satanic forces, they want people to fight with each other because then it becomes easier to control them. So divide and rule. So they create divisions, not only between religions, but within one religion. They will create different sects and denominations. And so those are two reasons why there are a lot of religions, one good reason and one bad reason. Okay, let me just see. I'm going to try to go through these comments quickly because Amreen Kamran Mirza says, Assalamu alaikum, thank you for your love for Pakistan. Well, anyone who really understands what Pakistan is will love Pakistan. Pakistan is that place chosen by God, I have no doubt, I'm convinced, where pure Islam will be reestablished, meaning love. Pure Islam means especially love and truth and justice. So that will be reestablished in Pakistan. When? When the people of Pakistan become Pak, become pure. Pakistan means land of the pure. So Pakistan, I believe, is that place where pure people, sincere people, will gather together and reestablish true religion, not only Islam, but true religion, which is love, especially. So that's why I love Pakistan, and I think anyone who really understands this about Pakistan will love Pakistan. Alia Turk, how Buddhist people can be good while they killed so many Muslim in Burma? Well, those people are not obviously Buddhists, not very good Buddhists. The most fundamental teaching of Buddhism is ahimsa, non-violence. So obviously they're not following teachings of the Buddha, peace be upon him. So there are so many people who were called themselves Christians who killed many more people than the Muslims have been killed in Burma. There have been many Muslims who have killed so many people simply because of their religion also. So there are bad people in every religion who do not follow the teachings of that religion. Those things are the case right now in Burma, where so many Buddhists are going totally against, opposite the teachings of the Buddha, who taught peace and compassion and non-violence. So they're not Buddhists. They're not real Buddhists. They may think they are, but obviously they're going against the teachings of Buddhism and of the Buddha. Okay, Yasmin Farid says, Sir, if someone wants some Murshid and Murshid isn't in this world, how can somebody communicate with the Murshid? By prayer and meditation, I guess, is the simplest answer. If the Murshid isn't in this world, you can communicate with the Murshid by meditating, by prayer. And the Murshid, if he's a qualified Murshid, he definitely, when you're thinking about him or her, they will become aware that you're thinking about them, and they will respond to you. They can give you guidance also. But generally, it's better to have a Murshid in this world because we need clear guidance. But if you have a Murshid and the Murshid leaves this world, then they can continue to guide you. Alia Turk, how to find a true Murshid? Well, the basic principle is to be sincere. If you really want a true Murshid, then God will arrange for you to find that true Murshid. And if you have some ulterior motives for having a Murshid, then you'll find a Murshid who has ulterior motives. So if you're sincere, you will find a true Murshid. That is the law of God, you might say. Okay, thank you all very, very much. And as I end now, I will just conclude by saying again, I am starting this frequently asked questions on my Allan Keislar public figure page. So if you go there and see those questions and have some other question that you want me to put there, please let me know and I will try to add it there and answer it. Okay, thank you all very much. May God protect us all. Be happy. Even though it seems like so many horrible things are happening in the world, everything is in God's control and it will all work out for the good. Thank you very much. Allah Hafiz.